It's been 4 months since Yellowbird last uploaded a video. Has he been kidnapped by aliens? My reasons for going missing aren't so absurd, but interesting nonetheless. At the end of November of 2024, my PC started experiencing some problems. These went from random freezes to shutdowns. Sometimes it wouldn't even boot, which pretty much rendered it useless. With nowhere to start troubleshooting, I sent it for repairs, and after a week of testing multiple options, I had news. The CPU was dead after a single year of use. As you can imagine, this news was unfortunate, as I didn't have a second PC to work on any videos, not to mention the fact I couldn't afford a new Ryzen 7. Thankfully, the latter wasn't a concern, as I was able to file a warranty claim for my fried CPU. It embarked on an overseas journey from Argentina to AMD's offices in the US, where they confirmed it was damaged and sent a replacement free of charge, even covering the shipping cost. The only downside was that the entire process took until February of 2025, leaving me without a functional PC for months. But not all of it has been in vain. I decided to open an ex-Twitter account. You should totally follow me there too for car news and anything related. Past the advertisement now, why didn't I upload anything despite solving these problems? Allow me to go back a few months into this timeline. Before my CPU pulled a reactor number 4 on me, I was working on a new video, one quite different from anything I had made up to that point. It was a complete historical breakdown of a race car. While I had previously covered the stories of real cars to some extent, such as my video on the Opera S2000, which was even recognized by its creator, a nice surprise which I never imagined possible, and my research on the Proto Motors Aspira, which remains the most detailed English language video on this obscure car. Those videos were still tied to racing games. My next video, however, will break away from that connection and focus entirely on real cars. This change in direction made me more cautious with the video. Since my script reads more like a historical recap, I struggled to find the right balance between delivering information and keeping it entertaining. I couldn't solve this puzzle before my PC died, so the script remains unfinished, waiting to be revisited. The reason why I haven't completed it yet is that now I find myself at a crossroads with my channel. I never really discussed this before, but I created this channel with a specific goal in mind. I wanted to use YouTube as a platform to break into the automotive world. I arrived at this decision after years of trying to make a name for myself through different jobs. Since I was 18, I've been trying to find my way into the industry. My first serious job involved researching the automotive market and tracking the values of all cars sold. In simple terms, I essentially worked for the Kelley Blue Book of my native Argentina. While the experience taught me many valuable lessons, I quickly reached a ceiling in that role. I think the following anecdote explains everything. I remember getting into a small argument once because the BMW 1M's values in the database were completely outdated, and one of the few units sold in Argentina had appeared for sale, and despite its price being above international values, it raised a valid concern. Many insurance companies relied on those outdated figures for their claims. Unfortunately, my concerns were ignored. This wasn't the only time I ran into such issues. I often encountered cases involving enthusiast cars that were overlooked in the grand scheme of things, yet they were precisely the area of expertise I could bring to the table. There are plenty more stories from my 3-year stint working for this company, all following the same pattern. While it was a job, it didn't bring me any closer to my goals in the automotive industry. This was especially frustrating considering I got hired thanks to a small article I had written, hoping it would lead to a role in their editorial section. However, that department was run by someone with zero automotive knowledge, and I never got the opportunity I aimed for. After applying for multiple jobs, I came to a realization. Most job opportunities in the car industry either don't align with my expertise or don't offer the level of involvement I'm looking for. There is no clear path for me to climb, as the sectors dealing with interesting cars and related fields are both small and disconnected from my world, leaving me with no way to break into the scene. So I decided to start a YouTube channel as a last resort. While it might sound a bit absurd, it was the only way I could take control of my future instead of waiting for the right job to appear. However, my plan had one major flaw. I didn't have access to real cars, a challenge I still face due to their high cost in my country. This meant I had to find alternative ways to cover the car industry. In all honesty, part of the struggle was also a personal lack of confidence. I feared people will question my credibility, and while that concern might be rational, it was still something that weighed on me. After experimenting with different types of content, I noticed that videos focused on racing games performed well, so I stuck with them, keeping myself busy. But over time, they no longer satisfied my passion, making them became tedious, and I felt like I was steering further away from the topics I truly wanted to explore, which brings me to the present day and the crossroads I face with my channel. Now that I have given you all some context on where I stand and how I got here, I wanted to share the choices I made for its future. First off, I'll be resuming my usual streaming this Monday because it's my birthday. However, instead of playing racing games, I plan to showcase my local car market and compare it with other countries, and answer your questions, or even look up cars you're curious about. I want my live streams to become a space where we explore the car market together and keep tabs on anything interesting. I also been thinking about making a video explaining some key aspects of the car market. It's been on my mind for months, so that might be coming soon as well. When it comes to videos, there are two main areas I want to focus on. The first is news related to the car industry. I noticed that many car enthusiasts aren't fully aware of the events shaping today's car market, and surprisingly, very few YouTubers cover these topics. That makes it an untapped niche for me, one that doesn't require access to cars for filming. The second is larger, more in-depth videos on historical automotive subjects. From experience, I know these take a lot of time to research and produce properly, but there's something I'm truly passionate about. I believe striking a balance between present-day industry news and historical content will be ideal. It will not only help my channel to stand out, but also allow me to focus on topics I'm genuinely invested in. I know many of you have discovered my channel through my racing game content, but I also recognize that I have built a community of passionate car enthusiasts. I am confident that this new direction will offer something valuable to you all. I want to sincerely thank everyone who has stuck around, patiently waiting and even expressing concern for my well-being. I truly appreciate your support. I also want to apologize for the delay in addressing everything. I needed time to figure out what I wanted from my channel and how I could continue creating content without disappointing those who have enjoyed my work so far. If you wish to stay in touch with me and be updated on future plans, I recommend that you also join my Discord server. There's a link in the description. And with that said, I hope to see you all soon on my birthday stream. Take care and thank you for everything.